Let me ask you something that might send a chill down your spine. Do you ever get that uncomfortable feeling that someone's watching you, even when you're alone at home? Well, that feeling might be more accurate than you think. There are 5 common places where seniors are being quietly monitored every single day, and most people don't have the slightest idea it's happening. I'm going to walk you through each one, and I promise you, the last one will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about privacy. But stick with me through all 5 because that final revelation is something every senior needs to hear. And hey, if this opens your eyes, hit that like button so we can help other seniors protect themselves. Don't forget to subscribe if you value your privacy, and drop a comment telling me, have you ever discovered a device was recording you when you least expected it? Let's start with something sitting right in your living room, your smart television. Remember when TVs were simple? You plugged them in, turned them on, flipped through channels, and that was the end of it. Those days are long gone. Today's smart TVs are basically computers with screens constantly connected to the internet. And that connection isn't just bringing you Netflix and YouTube, it's sending information about you right back to the companies that made them. What kind of information are we talking about? Everything. Your smart TV knows what shows you watch, how long you watch them, what time you prefer certain programs, and even how often you pause to grab a snack. It might seem innocent enough, but this creates a detailed digital portrait of who you are, what you like, and how you spend your time. But here's where it gets really unsettling. Many of these TVs come with built-in microphones and cameras. They tell you it's for voice commands and video calls, which sounds convenient. The problem is, those microphones and cameras don't always turn off when you think they do. There have been cases where these devices collect bits of conversation or capture images without people knowing it. The companies say it's to make your experience better, but that data often ends up being sold to advertisers or used in ways you never agreed to. For seniors, this is particularly troubling. Think about it. You're having a private conversation with your children about health concerns, or maybe you're on the phone discussing financial matters. If your TV's privacy settings weren't set up properly, that personal information could be stored somewhere you'd never want it to be. It's like having an uninvited stranger sitting in your living room, quietly taking notes on everything you say and do. Now let's talk about something you probably carry everywhere: your smartphone and all those apps on it. For many seniors, smartphones have become essential tools for staying connected with family, getting directions, playing games, or managing daily tasks. But every time you download a new app, you might be handing over pieces of your private life without realizing it. The worst offenders are usually the free apps. Take a simple weather app, for instance. It sounds harmless enough, right? But when you install it, it might ask permission to know your location not just once, but constantly throughout the day. Some apps want access to your microphone, your contact list, your photos, and even your text messages. Stop and think about that for a second. Why would a flashlight app or a simple game need to know who you're calling or where you are at any given moment? The answer is they don't need that information to work, but they want it to make money off of you. Here's the scary part. When seniors tap accept on these permission requests, often just to get past the setup screen, they don't realize they're giving these apps the green light to track them constantly. This is why you might mention needing new shoes in passing conversation, and then suddenly every website you visit shows you shoe advertisements. It's not magic or coincidence. Many apps are quietly listening or watching and then selling that information to advertising companies. What makes this even more dangerous is that some apps have weak security, which means criminals can exploit them. I've seen cases where seniors were unknowingly followed around town simply because a seemingly innocent app was broadcasting their location. With identity theft becoming more common, these little details, your age, your address, your daily habits, can all become weapons in the hands of scammers. Your smartphone is supposed to make your life easier, but instead, you're often the one serving the apps, feeding them your personal information, one permission at a time. Now let's step outside your home for a moment. When you drive through town, walk into stores, visit the bank, or even just take a stroll around the neighborhood, you're probably being recorded far more than you realize. At first glance, this might not seem alarming. After all, security cameras help prevent crime and solve problems when they occur. But the world of surveillance has transformed dramatically in recent years. These aren't the blurry, grainy cameras of the past. Today's cameras come equipped with advanced facial recognition technology. They can identify who you are, connect your face to databases, and track your movements from location to location. The concerning part is how this technology is being used. You don't need to be doing anything wrong to get caught up in these systems. Seniors going about their normal daily activities, visiting the grocery store, attending religious services, or meeting friends for coffee can all have their movements logged, tracked, and stored. In some places, these surveillance systems are even connected to marketing networks, which means your trip to the pharmacy could trigger a targeted advertisement before you even get back home. The big question is, what happens to all this information? Often, the footage belongs to private companies or government agencies, and there aren't always clear rules about how long it's kept, who can see it, or how it might be used later. That leaves plenty of room for misuse. For seniors who may already be concerned about maintaining their independence, knowing that their daily routines are being monitored can feel especially invasive. Imagine being tracked simply because you went to pick up groceries or took your dog for a walk. You might never notice the cameras, but they're there, watching, recording, and sometimes analyzing your behavior in ways you never gave permission for. Let's move back inside your home, but this time we're talking about those smart assistants that have become so popular. Alexa, Google Home, Siri, these devices have become like companions for many seniors. You ask them to play your favorite songs, tell you the weather, remind you about medications, or even help you call family members. On the surface, it feels almost magical. But here's the uncomfortable truth that most people don't want to face. These devices are always listening. The companies will tell you that these assistants only wake up when you say their special word Alexa, Hey Google, or Siri. But research and leaked reports have revealed that these devices frequently misunderstand sounds and record conversations even when you didn't intend to activate them. What's more shocking is that some of these recordings get stored in massive databases, and occasionally, employees at these companies actually listen to snippets of what was recorded. They claim it's to improve the technology, but that means strangers could potentially hear your private conversations. Think about what this means for seniors specifically. You might discuss personal health issues out loud, give important instructions to your spouse, talk about financial concerns, or share private family matters while sitting in what you thought was the privacy of your own kitchen. Those conversations, the ones you assumed were completely safe within your own home, could be captured, stored, and in some cases even reviewed by people you'll never meet. It gets even more complex because these devices often connect to other smart products in your home, things like thermostats, doorbells, and lighting systems. This creates what experts call a data ecosystem, where virtually everything about your daily routine gets mapped out. What time you wake up, when you leave the house, when you return, how often you listen to music, how long you spend in different rooms, it all becomes part of a detailed profile of your life. Voice assistants are also tied directly to shopping platforms. Have you ever asked Alexa to order something for you online? That purchase, and even the way you asked for it, gets recorded and analyzed. Over time, companies know not just what you're buying, but how you think about making purchases. For marketing companies, this information is incredibly valuable. For you, it represents a complete loss of privacy. The most disturbing realization is this: the one place we've always considered completely private, our homes, is no longer truly protected. These assistants do make life more convenient, but they also transform your living room, kitchen, and even bedroom into spaces where you're never really alone. Now we come to the final and perhaps most shocking location where seniors are being monitored, and it's probably happening right now as you're reading this. It's your everyday online searches. If there's one activity where most seniors feel completely safe and private, it's sitting in front of a computer or tablet and typing a question into a search bar. It feels personal, almost like quietly asking yourself a question. But online searches are the furthest thing from private. They're actually one of the most heavily monitored activities you engage in every single day. Here's how this surveillance works. Every single time you search for something, whether it's best vitamins for arthritis, how to manage high blood pressure, or affordable senior living options, that search gets logged and recorded. It's connected to your internet address, your device, and often your actual name. From there, companies build incredibly detailed profiles about you, your age, your health concerns, your interests, your financial situation, even your political beliefs. But it doesn't stop at just recording what you type. Search engines also track how you search. They monitor how long you pause before clicking on a result, which websites you choose to visit, how far you scroll down the page, and how quickly you come back to try a different search. These might seem like tiny, meaningless actions, but when analyzed together, they reveal your emotional state and decision-making process. Are you worried about something? Are you comparing prices because money is tight? Are you uncertain about a health condition? The computer algorithms pick up on all of these subtle clues. For seniors, this level of monitoring can have serious real-world consequences. Imagine you search for information about memory problems or side effects from a medication you're taking. Within just a few days, you might start seeing advertisements for expensive and unproven supplements, questionable treatments, or even suspicious memory clinics that prey on people's fears. The more vulnerable or personal your search is, the more aggressive the marketing that follows becomes. In some cases, scammers actually purchase this type of data specifically to target seniors with fraudulent offers. Even your most private questions, the kind you'd never say out loud to another person, don't remain private online. Maybe you've typed something into that search bar late at night thinking it's just between you and the computer. The reality is that search might be stored indefinitely, permanently attached to your digital identity, and possibly shared with advertisers, data collection companies, or third-party organizations you've never even heard of. While some search engines now claim to protect user privacy, the truth is that the majority still make their money through surveillance. They're not just selling search results, they're selling information about you, your habits, your concerns, and your daily routines. For seniors who often look up sensitive topics like medical conditions, financial planning, or end-of-life concerns, this level of exposure can feel like a serious betrayal of trust. Think about it this way. Your online searches are like entries in a personal diary, except instead of being locked away in a safe drawer, they're being copied, shared, and sold to strangers all around the world. And unlike a physical diary, this digital record never disappears. It follows you forever. The reality is that in today's world, true privacy has become almost impossible to maintain, but awareness is the first step toward protection. Now that you know about these 5 places where you're being monitored, you can start taking steps to regain some control over your personal information. Don't let this information scare you. Let it empower you to make better choices about your digital life.